Greetings, fellow programmers. This is Pavel, and this is a C# exercise where we'll be working with forms, C# Windows forms, and image boxes. So let me just first read you the assignment and actually show you this. I'm shooting this at the end of the video, which I already have, so I can show you the actual project. So the assignment says a button should shuffle the cards and deal out 40 cards so you can only see the left edge of the card. There should be no duplicates in the dealt cards. Note, since you have to add 40 cards to the form, that's a note from a teacher. Since you have to add 40 card images to the form, I would strongly suggest putting that in the loop. And he goes on to say that you should be able to calculate the position of the image based on the loop counter. So, and this is what we'll be building. Just a simple form with one button and nothing else. And when the button is clicked, we display 40 random cards. Basically, it just randomizes and displays 40 images. It displays the left edge. So yeah, this is what we will be building. We will be using dynamically generated controls. Typically, you would just drag and drop, your controls onto the form, but that wouldn't work this way, or maybe it would, but this is a better way. When we will simply show it generated dynamically into an array and populate it kind of on the fly. So stick around and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so after the intro, we already saw what we're going to be building. So without further ado, let me just start building it. So like I said, we have the simple form with one button that will deal the cards. Now this button, for example, was simply dropped on the form from the toolbar, from the toolbox, but you could generate form controls on the fly, and that's what we are going to be using this time. So I'm going to create a few variables. The first one, I will create a picture box array, or array of picture boxes. I'll just call it pictures. And this might be new to you, but a picture box, just like any other form control, it's just an object. You can modify it the same way any objects can be. It has its properties, it has its methods, and you can create an array of it. And that's what we are going to be using, an array of picture boxes. Now I already have the cards. I have a cards folder in my debug bin/debug folder, and in it I have 52 cards. Basically they look something like this. This is the card number 1, and there's let's say this is card number 52. That's 52 cards. So they all separate. You could use one big image with all the cards on it, kind of like this. This is just one image, and you can position, kind of mess around with the position of each of these cards on this particular image and kind of offset it in the picture box. But I have 52 separate images, and that's what I'm gonna be using. So here's my array of picture boxes. So I need to load those images somehow, so I will create a path called image path that equals and I'm going to be using the slashes, so I put the at it in front of the strings, which means this is exactly what I want you to display, including the slash, so I don't have to escape it. Otherwise it would I would have to use the double slash or something like that. So if you see this in front of a string, it simply means this is a literal string. This is including the slash. If it had quotes, it would be displayed as well. All right, so that's my that's my two variables, and I'm going to in the constructor. Yes, this is a constructor, public form1, because we have a class called form1, so this is its constructor. So I will instantiate the new object of the array, or the picture boxes, and there's 52 cards, so 52 elements array. Okay, so now everything will be basically happening on the click of the button. There's no other control. So when the button clicks, I wanna create the objects of the create the images, populate them, and display them. So let's get to it. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a private void create controls, and this will actually create the picture boxes. And to do that, we simply use a loop, and for very simple loop like that you've seen many times. There's 52 cards, so I'm gonna loop I less than 52, I plus plus, simple for loop, and in it I'm gonna create new object of a picture box. So I will go var, I'll just call it new picture box equals new picture box. Now this picture box has all the properties like the picture box would have if you dropped it on the form, but this one does not have them populated. We have to kind of give it the width and height, and which I going to do based on the size of my card images, which are approximately 75 pixels wide and 100 pixels high. So I'm just gonna do that. So the new picture box dot width, which is the property of it, is 75, and the new picture box dot height is 100. So now I have a picture box with height and width. And yeah, you can do other properties. Same like you would do for the regularly kind of dropped and drag and dropped controls. For example, if I wanted, you have all the actually all of them right here. We're padding, let's say border style. We can do around the images. We can decide, I don't know, fix 3D, whatever you want. This is the same picture box as if it was that you dropped on the form, and you have access to all the regular picture box properties. All right, so now we have the width, and now we can put this picture box. Remember, we are in the loop, so we're going to create 52 of these, and each of them we will put into our array called pictures that I created, and with the index of I. And we need to obviously kind of put the image on it as well. I'm not gonna do it here in this method. Let me just come over here for a second, and I'll create a private picture box. In other words, this one will return a picture box, and I'll just call it size image. All right, and so this method will process the picture box before it is put into our array, return it, and then that already modified picture box will be put back to the array. So over here I come and do I'll call the size image, and in it I'm going to attach the image to the picture box. So when we store it in our array, it will already contain not just a empty picture box, but a picture box with an image of the card. So so I have to actually pass some arguments there. I have to pass the actual picture box that the new picture box that I'm going to modify, and an I as an integer, and that's because I'm going to use I as a name, which you will soon see. My cards are named simply 1.jpg, 10.jpg, 11.jpg, and so forth. So I will basically be the number. So I'm gonna construct the name of the image that I'm going to place on it, because I within the loop, it starts from 0, so I'm gonna actually put I plus 1. So it will return 1 at the beginning, so I can create the image 1.jpg. On the second iteration it will be 2, so I can create an image 2.jpg, and so forth all the way to 52. So this is the call to the method, and the method itself then accepts a picture box. I'll just call it PB, and an integer, I call it I again, and in it I can create the image which equals the new image from file, because I'm calling it from the file. And remember, I already have a path that includes the folder and a slash, so I can simply do the image path and concatenate to it the I.toString. So I could concatenate the number. So I'm calling the so now I have I'm calling the path of the cards/1, and all I have to do now is concatenate the extension of the image, which is the .jpg. So this will give me the path and to an image name, simply based on the I variable from the loop that is being passed as an argument to the method over here. And picture box that is being passed is the individual picture box from within the loop, and we will return the modified picture box with the image in it and place it into our array. So we have that, and so now we can do, since we have an image object, now we can do something like a size mode, which indicates how the image is displayed. And you can tell that the picture box size mode could be auto size, center, normal, and stretch. Now I'm gonna use center, and you can, I don't know if you can see it, but it says the image is displayed in the center picture box, and if the picture box is larger than the image, the edges are clipped. But I want the image basically centered into our picture box, and we will return the modified picture box with all the properties and the image in it. So here we are back to our array that is being populated, and now all we have to do is to basically display these on our form. So I'm gonna create another method. I'll just call this one private void display controls, and in it we will again just do a little loop, fairly simple. We were going to we need to display 40 cards according to the assignment, so I will do I equals 0, I is less than 40, I plus plus, and we have to kind of offset each card to the right, so only the edge of the card underneath is visible. We don't want to display the whole cards except the first one, so we have to kind of move it to the left, and you'll see the effect soon. So pictures, I'm calling the array of I, and there's a method called left, which says gets or sets the distance in pixels between the left edge of the control and the left edge of its container's client area. And our client area is the form. We don't have any panel or anything, so we are simply offsetting it based of the form. And I don't know, this is kind of just a guess game. I'm gonna offset it, the I multiplied by, I don't know, 5 plus 100. So basically each card will be offset 5 times to the right. It might be a little too not enough, but we'll see. And we can do also, actually we don't need to do that, never mind. What we need to do now is to add this to our form. We have it populated, but we don't still have it on the form, and to add it we use the keyword this, which refers to the form, our current form, and we want to add controls. Controls is a, you can see that it's a collection of controls contained within the control. So basically it's a list of controls on the form, and we're gonna add each of our picture boxes. This is a loop, so we go one by one. So we will do pictures of I. So one by one we will add it to our control on the forms. So when I go to the button deal, all I have to do now call the methods. So the first one I have to call is to create controls, and then I'll call the display controls, and let me run it and see what we get. Slowly it's building. All right, and here is our form. I made it longer simply because there's gonna be 40 cards. So when I click deal cards, you can see them here maybe, but nothing is being displayed. But you can see the little edges, but they're way too close. So I'm gonna offset it a little further to the left. I don't know, I'm gonna offset it 18 or whatever. And it did it better, but it's I don't know if you can actually see it, but it is offset. You can see that the cards are offset. So now we have to just to populate the image box with the actual images. So that I obviously made some kind of an error here when we are creating the images, because the cards came out blank. So we get the path, we have the size mode. Well, we have the size mode, but we don't have the actual, I forgot to assign the image. So pb.image equals the image. This will give us the image contains the path and the name of the image. So I forgot to assign it to our picture box. So I think that's what it was. So let me run it again. So, and yeah, here's our cards. So yeah, let me move them way to the top. So when I come over here, when I move them to the left, I'll also will move them down a little more to the middle of the form. So I'll move them from the top and just a fixed 50 pixels. So if I run it now, hopefully it should be a little more to the middle, and it is. So here's our cards, 40 cards. You can see though, you know what, I'm gonna remove the one more thing. I'm gonna remove the the border. I know that was just to show you that you can add, you know, the properties, but it doesn't look very good with it in this case. That's better. Yeah, there you go. That's the cards, but you can see that they're in order, so we have to shuffle them. And also you can see that they are kind of upside down. We want this card, the second card, cover the first one over here, so to show the left edge. So I'm gonna do that in the next video, so stick around and watch the next part. Take care.